Hey guys, Yuval Ron here, and I got a very interesting question from one of the pledgers to the campaign the other day, and it was something like, what makes my music tick? Meaning, what makes it work? So, as the composer and the creator of this music, I am quite biased, so I don't know if I can really answer this question objectively. Maybe you can, maybe for you it means something else, than what it means to me. But I can tell you from my perspective that for me it was never the music itself that drove me to write. It was more writing about something else, which is external to the music. And this is why I always started with titles and not really with the music itself. Sometimes I had an idea, like some sound in my head or some melody or some even rhythm or harmony. But as long as they weren't really connected with a good title, a title that really drives me to write, they never made it into some composition. So I really had to have something that drives me from the outside to write about. So the concept of space or the concept of futurism is one thing that I always deal with. Maybe it's because I need some escape, from this life, the mundane world, so I really have to deal with it, like many musicians do, with escaping to some other world. And you know what? Maybe with another band or another project, I wouldn't deal with it with escaping. I would deal with it by facing, the problems. And that can also be done musically. For example, bands that protest against stuff, In this context, in this project, I want to escape. And I want to write about fantasy, and I want to write about stuff that is not going on in the world but is going on in other worlds. So all that is kind of driving me to just sit down and write and imagine a lot. And I usually hear a lot of the music just before I'm writing it, and then I sing it, sometimes with guitar, sometimes without guitar. For example, the title tune, Somewhere in This Universe Somebody Hits a Drum, or as I call it, Short Universe. That is something that just happened after a whole day that I just was here playing, practicing, or just improvising for myself. And then all of a sudden, this thing happened, and I wrote the main theme from the beginning to the end almost completely, and just recorded it. And I think it's a very good way to go. You should really try it yourself if you're a musician, to just sit with the guitar, sing. This is so important, and I will talk about this more in other videos. And whatever comes out, usually it's the truth. And that's what makes my music tick. That's what drives this music, at least in this project, and what makes it work.